They really thought they could scare my wife out of our own home with fake cops? Seriously? By the time I found out what the HOA had pulled, it was almost too late. It started with a knock-no, a pounding in the door that shook the damn windows. I was at work. My wife, Sam, had just gotten off night duty at the naval base. Exhausted, hair still pinned back from her shift, she opened the door to two so-called officers flashing dollar store badges and barking that we had to leave the property immediately. Eviction notice. Failure to comply with HOA regulations. One of them said, smug as hell. She blinked. Eviction? We own this house. I wish I had been there to see her face, because according to our neighbor Maria, who watched from her porch like it was a Netflix special, Sam didn't even flinch. Just crossed her arms and smiled. That slow, deadly smile she saves for people who have no idea what kind of fire they're about to walk into. Let me guess, she said calmly. Karen sent you? The lead officer didn't answer, but his silence screamed yes. Oh, Karen, our neighborhood HOA president. Blonde helmet hair, red lipstick sharp as her tongue, and a moral superiority complex the size of Texas. She'd been itching to get us out since the day we moved into a women, both military, no kids, no patience for her petty bullshit. Our porch flag wasn't aesthetically compliant. Our mailbox had non-regulation numbers. Our car tires touched the grass. Each time, we fixed it, filed it, or fought it. But this was a whole new level. My phone buzzed with a text from Sam that made my blood run cold. They tried to evict me with fake cops. Call base. Lawsuit incoming. I flew out of work like my boots were on fire. By the time I pulled into the driveway, a real police cruiser was already there and Sam was standing in the front yard, arms still crossed, while the two impersonators sat handcuffed on the curb, looking like sad little boys who'd been caught TPNG the wrong house. Baby, she said, voice low and tight, Karen hired them. I stared. She what? She nodded. Paid them cash. Told them we were squatters. My jaw dropped. Squatters? I could hear Karen screeching from her porch across the cul-de-sac, robe flapping, chihuahua barking at her heels. You can't arrest them. They were just enforcing community rules. One of the real officers looked at her like she'd grown a second head. Ma'am, hiring people to impersonate law enforcement is a felony. And right there, something cracked. Karen shrieked. I am the HOA. Oh, it was beautiful. Now, here's where the twist kicks in. We thought we'd just file a restraining order and sue the HOA for harassment. But once the Navy got wind of what happened, especially since Sam was base security commander, oh no, this went way above Karen's pay grade. Turns out impersonating cops at a military officer's residence? Not just illegal, it's a full-blown national security incident. Karen was served federal charges. The HOA board tried to claim innocence. But guess what? Emails, screenshots, receipts. One of the impersonators even turned over text messages from Karen. Make it look official. Bring the badges. We didn't even have to push the lawsuit. It launched itself. Our attorney said he'd never seen a case unravel this fast. But the kicker? A week later, our neighborhood Facebook group lit up. Karen's house had a for sale sign in the yard. Word was she'd taken a plea deal, lost her job at a local realty firm, and was being shunned by the same neighbors she used to terrorize with paint chip violations and fence height citations. Maria brought over a bottle of wine and toasted with Sam under the stars. Cheers to karma, she said. It always delivers. Sam laughed and leaned back in her chair. Funny thing about people who pretend to have power. They never know what to do when they meet someone who actually does. I still can't believe it all started with a knock. A fake badge. A desperate little power trip that backfired harder than a rusty engine. To anyone dealing with HOA tyranny, don't just fight back, know your rights. Gather proof, and when the time is right, strike. Because the louder they bark, the harder they fall. And if you think this story is wild, subscribe to our YouTube channel for the full footage, lawsuit updates, and more juicy HOA drama. You're not going to believe what happened next.